Thanks everyone for joining me for another episode on the Travel Collective, where I get to talk to amazing travelers going all kinds of places that I may or may not get to experience. And today I'm excited to finally reconnect with Phoenix. So, welcome, Phoenix.
Thank you so much for having me, April.
Yeah. Well, we met originally in Wisconsin, if I recall, at a T-Bax, I think.
Yeah, years ago it feels like now. That's
I know.
23.
I think so, yeah. I mean, that was like my first T-Bax, and I was kind of nervous and, wasn't sure about the whole conference thing. But there you were, all smiling and having a good time, and you had your whole little crew with you. And
Oh yeah, it was quite busy back then because that was my second tea bags. They were like, "Oh, do you want to go to this one?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And it was just like a marathon again.
and you brought your family, if I recall.
Yeah, they had a blast in Wisconsin because we were able to go to like the kids museum and then they had this really cool like play it again bar. I don't remember the exact name, but it was like a arcade bar. And
Right.
so the kids, I mean, did the arcade bit a lot, and it was so much fun.
Was that a road trip then for you guys? Because like,
Oh God, no, no.
okay.
So I actually just did my longest road trip since my accident, which was to Salem for Christmas.
Oh wow.
And so that was about 13 hours in the car. And with my my health issues, my back just gets torn up by those. So I'm probably going to keep it like all flying if it's like an over 5 hour kind of drive.
So for you, it actually is a little easier than to just fly, even internationally.
Exactly.
Because I do know you went to Ireland. Was the Ireland one of your highlights last year?
Oh, of course. Ireland is my favorite country in the whole wide world. It was my first solo trip ever back in 2015, so I've been dying to get back there. And it's just like it feels like home when I go there, and so I just never want to leave. Like the first time, my flight got canceled twice. No, wait, it might have been three times, and we
Oh
just
my
kept having
gosh.
issues. And I'm like, should I just burn my passport? Is this a sign to just like live here forever?
Yeah.
So
So
it's a
you,
real possibility for moving there eventually.
oh really? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
So you did travel to Ireland the very first time solo in
On
2015?
accident. Yeah.
Oh, on
It was
accident.
I had like before I was with someone and it was gonna end up being like our honeymoon and we didn't end up getting married. And so I'm like, I'm still gonna go on this trip. And I invited friends and everyone backed out the last minute. So it just randomly became a solo trip, which it was honestly the best trip of my entire life. I got lost. I ran out of money because my check didn't deposit
Oh
correctly.
no.
I um I sideswiped a semi
Oh no. Oh
and
my gosh.
I met one of my best pen pals and friends to this day.
So was that trip then kind of already pre-planned since it was supposed to be like a honeymoon? Oh.
No, not at all. So we were supposed to travel. It wasn't supposed to be to Ireland, just travel at that point. And so I was like super depressed. I'm like, I'm still gonna go somewhere. And so I bought like a Groupon and it covered like my flight, my car, and like B&B kind
Oh,
of
okay.
stays. And so I was like, I'm gonna drive around the entirety of Ireland. And this was before you could like use your GPS on your phone or get like
Oh.
the kind of data. So I downloaded all the Google Maps. I suck with maps and I got like the Wi-Fi thing in the car for the GPS, but I did not know because I was stupid American that Northern Ireland and Ireland are two separate countries. So as soon as I crossed that line, my GPS stopped working. And
No. Oh
I
my
got
gosh.
lost for like 16 hours. Didn't end up at my B&B until 4 in the morning, and I ended up waking everyone up. Everyone was like pissed off at me the next
Right, yeah,
day.
yeah. They're like,
It was
you're like,
it
let
was
me
the
in.
most
I'm
wild
so
thing.
tired.
Yeah, and like during that entire being lost period, I ended up driving into a field of like cows and sheep because of just a wrong turn. And then the cows and sheep surrounded my vehicle and I could not leave with the car. And I just start crying. And like
Right.
20 minutes later, I guess the farmer comes out, he starts knocking my window and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm lost and I don't know what to do." Like it was 25-year-old me. And he like gave me the directions and everything.
Oh, thank
And then I
goodness.
still got lost like another 6 hours.
Oh no, yeah, that is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you're
It was so much fun. And I don't think I would have discovered a lot of what I did if I did not get lost. But instead of going around the entirety of Ireland, I went from like Dublin around to Cliffs of Moher and then back over. So I still need to visit the Southern Ireland.
wow. But what a trip to have all that happen as a solo traveler and then still want to keep traveling. For some people, they might have been like, oh no, I'm just done. But it sounds like it turned out great in the end. I mean,
Yeah. And I'm even going to Dublin next month.
oh,
So
you are? You're going back?
yeah, so my mom, she got a diagnosis, health-wise, and so she's like, I'm gonna do as much as I can in this year before everything progresses really bad. And so we're going to be going to Dublin, London, and Paris in February, and then
Wow.
Florence, Venice, and Rome in May.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Just a
Yeah.
mother-daughter trip?
The first one is kind of like a mini, like retro family trip. It's gonna be me, my brother, my uncle, and my mom, in May, and then February is gonna be me and her.
Oh, nice. So, and are
Yeah.
you doing all the planning for that or?
I'm trying. So on top of like running my business, like I've got a bunch of like due dates with like the partnerships I've done,
Yeah.
along with writing a bunch and then trying to manage my family back home. And it's just like it's a lot. So I made sure that every single flight we have wheelchair rentals for the airport, everything's accessible. Um, and things like that, which that in of itself took me like 2.5 days because you have to contact like all the airlines and make sure everything goes through and then contacting the different airports for the TSA cares and the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Project. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
been a lot of planning. And now we're actually to the fun bit where we decide what we're going to do when we're there.
Right. Right. So you already booked your accommodations then too, right?
It was another Groupon.
Oh
So
no,
like
well that's good. That's a
normally
shout out for Groupon that you've had good experience with their bundled deals,
we
actually.
have to like I prefer to do it piece by piece because I like having the freedom. My mom's like, "Well, I saw a really good deal." I'm like, "Mom, there's a reason why they're good deals." Um,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
she was paying for the trips. I'm like, "You know what? We'll do it your way."
Yeah, I haven't done as many of those recently, but in the past, when I've been on a budget, it's like, yeah, Groupon is like you get a flight, you get a place to stay. It's so sometimes you can choose, a different hotel, but it's like then you have to research like, well, quickly before the deal disappears.
Exactly. We actually missed out on one that she had wanted because we were sitting on it for a couple days because I was so bogged down with work.
Yeah. So, wow. So, talk to me about your different websites because I know you've started a couple different websites. You've got a couple different Instagram accounts going, probably because of your different kind of facets of your travels.
So the main one is Phoenix Travels. Like it's spelled differently, so it's my name, Phoenyx Travels. And so that is more, that was my accessible travel blog, and now I'm integrating it to be living with a disability and accessible travel.
Okay.
So right now I'm writing all of those posts. I'm creating a digital product for people for pacing with energy management. Like, so for me, I have dysautonomia and energy limitations because of my other autoimmune condition. And so navigating that has been really, really difficult, especially because that diagnosis happened February last year.
Oh,
So it's all brand new. And so I'm like, well, how the heck do I do this? And I just made so many connections with others who are kind of navigating the same thing.
oh,
And so I'm
interesting.
like, let me make a guide or like, resources on how to do this best. So on top of like the normal accessible travel, I'm like, this is everyday life. Like whether you're traveling or not, you still need these resources. So I'm working on that right now. I have another blog that I have the domain and I have like the socials, but it's kind of on the back burner for now until I fill out my like, living with a disability silo.
Oh,
But it's gonna be
nice.
plot twist travel adventures, and it's gonna be all about traveling with like the books and movies settings. So like when I was in Ireland, flying from Dublin to Donegal, I was actually sat with the CEO of like Northern Ireland Films, or there's a word, who worked on Game
Wow.
of Thrones. And
No way. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So he was on Game of Thrones. He had just filmed a bunch of the How to Tra like the live action How to Train Your Dragon there, and that kind of inspired me because I've always like wanted to kind of do a side project about all of that. Especially like North Carolina, we've got District 13 from Hunger Games. We've got Edward Scissorhands is Lakeland, Florida, which I also like a family down there. Um,
Yeah,
just
that's
all these
right.
different places. And so I'm really excited to start that one. And I know it's gonna like really do well, but I have to like get there.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, that's what I thought when I saw the plot twist travels. I'm like, is she starting to write books or what is she doing? You've got so
Oh,
many
not yet. The
projects.
book's gonna be a big project when it does happen.
Yeah. Well, like you said, getting diagnosed with the condition. So you don't all are you able to kind of know when when you get tired, or is it something that can come? I mean, talk to us a little bit about that.
So it's weird because like as you know, I'm now an amputee. And I have the history of a severe traumatic brain injury, which means like if people get a concussion, it's kind of like that times like 100 because, you're usually in a coma, you have really bad short-term memory, so longer lingering effects. And so I was just kind of like working through life with those two things, which I finally had a handle on by the time I had my amputation. I was doing great. And then I had a minor surgery on my knee where blood pressure and my heart rate got out of control and it created another brain injury which unlocked the autoimmune condition, which is why I
Oh,
have to do the energy management. So like I'll feel when it's like coming on where like my vision will get blurry. I get really noise and light sensitive. Sometimes my vision will just like go black and it'll feel like inflammation around like my spinal cord. It's really weird. Um, and brain fog is really, really bad. Like I can't even string a sentence or two sentences together. And so like if I work for more than 2 to 3 hours at a time, or if I cannot go grocery shopping because there's just like the mental level of figuring out what to get, along with actually walking around the store and like dealing with the other people and everything.
yeah.
So I just right now I do like one big thing a day, and um, after getting the flu this year, thankfully I rested for a week and that kind of has reset a lot of it. So I'm
Oh,
not
good.
as bad as I was because I got to rest a lot. But it's definitely like it's taken me a year and a half. Well, so I started getting the symptoms for the or for the autoimmune before, but it's taken me about like a year and a half to finally like understand pacing management. I have a tracker with a visible tracker.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and it's just kind of knowing your body. And for me, I was always crazy productive. Like I was I had kids really young, so I'd work full time, go to school full time, take care of the kids full time as a single mom. And like I would go to sleep at like 2 a.m., wake up at 6 and just kind of do it all over again. And so after the accident, I had to like kind of chill a little bit, but I was still really good. And then after that diagnosis, I as I said, it's like maybe an hour or two of activity before I start crashing.
Right, right. Well, even like going to T-Bax in Ireland this year, planning out how to, because I mean, to me, those conferences are just like, it's go, go, go. It's a lot of
Yeah,
people. How does that factor in? Are you able to kind of navigate that now that you know better what how to pace it or?
I know how to do it. Do I do it? No.
Right. I
Um,
mean, that's the hard
so
part is
for
like when you've been used to like wanting, especially when you have all these great ideas and you're around all these creative people, and then you meet this guy on the plane. I can just imagine it's hard to like remind yourself, like, hey, I just gotta try to not overdo.
yeah, and what I say about whenever I go to like a conference like that or TVX or if I have like travel planned, I plan for having a week and a half to 2 weeks after where I'm basically bedbound. Um, and I just like minimum of 3 days just being in bed. And so I've been trying to do better this year with my travel plans. It's not going well
Oh no.
because Monday I have an adaptive ski scholarship to go to. the Adaptive Sports Association in Durango, Colorado, and learn how to
Wow.
ski. And that's for a week. And then I come back for 3 weeks and I go to Dublin, London, and Paris. And then a bunch of Girl Scout training and stuff and cookie season until March. And then now I might be working with Salem in April. And then May, I have Italy. In June, I have T-Bex, where I'm a keynote speaker.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then I think that's it for summer. And then end of September is Fargo, North Dakota T-Bex. And then a possible fam trip in Virginia in December.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow,
So
you
my goals was to do like every other month,
right.
but it's not working out that way.
Right, exactly. Well, even this big trip to Dublin, London, and Paris with your mom, I mean, it's a lot of flights. It's a lot of, if she hasn't been, managing how you're going to fit in seeing everything and get some sleep and
Yeah, thankfully, like her level, like I can say what it is here, but like basically, she was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's.
Oh,
And so that usually progresses within 5 years. And so with her being only, hold on, I'm trying to think my 54.
that's
Um,
pretty young.
yeah, so the younger you are when you're diagnosed, the faster it goes.
Oh,
So um, it's kind of like also like I think my brain injury really helped me understand kind of what she's going through right now with like the different cognitive things that I've had to learn over the years. So um, this trip, like these trips, I'm kind of just making more about about her, and if I get some pictures and I can write a little bit, cool, but it's not the focus.
right.
Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah. And I didn't know you'd been announced as a keynote speaker at is it Richmond, the Richmond
Yeah.
conference? Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking with Leslie, Peggy, and Corey.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So the Ireland conference must have been great for connections for you.
It was. I would I would have liked to have more destination connections, but I've always kind of been pit every conference. I'm like, hey, can I talk? Can I talk? Can I talk? And so this one worked out.
Oh, good. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
And what have you been to one of the like the Fargo conference I know is supposed to be more in depth. Have you been to one of those before? Because I've not.
not yet.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to Quebec, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. Ended up working out because like I had health issues at the time. And so this is my first like summit one, but I'm really excited because, we haven't, as a family, have not traveled out that way very often. Like I went to Oregon for the Travel Oregon fam trip in October. But I'm trying to discover more of like the Midwest on over.
Right. And then you write some about your family travels as well to help other families.
Yeah, so my whole family is ADHD to the max. So we're all neurodivergent. And then I'm the one with the most accessibility needs because, neurodivergent and then mobility issues. And so we talk about it from, the neurodivergent and then, my side of things as well. The
Yeah.
family doesn't always go, and usually it's just the littlest one because the teenagers just mean mug the camera every time I try to take a picture.
Oh dear.
And I'm just like, guys, you can't do this. I'm literally getting paid for it.
Right, right. This is supposed to be my paid trip. I gotta create content. Like, stop
Exactly. So now
it.
the 7-year-old gets to go everywhere and they don't.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Wow, that is amazing. What else did you enjoy about Ireland when you were there for the conference? Because I think you discovered some like offbeat things that weren't even part of the conference a little bit.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. I know that like Karen and I went to Glenby Castle. That was really, really fun. We went to, I call it the Round Place. I know it has a name, but I cannot think of it, where you can basically see like a bunch of counties and Scotland from it.
Oh,
And
wow.
that was really cool. I was really sad that I didn't have my drone, but I'm also grateful because I would have crashed it because it was so windy.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but it was phenomenal. Like every time I go, I'm like, I'm gonna cry because I've missed it so much. And like the people are amazing, and it's just such a great experience.
Well, and it's nice that you found a place because I often hear that people end up through traveling sometimes finding that place somewhere else. They never felt to feel just like so at home. Like it's kind of like their second, like I belong here. I should be here. And
Yeah.
yeah. Drone photography. Have you had challenges traveling internationally with your drone? Have you traveled with your drone internationally yet?
I brought it to Ireland and did not use it at all. Well, I used it
Oh,
once. I used it
okay.
at the closing party, but there were
Oh,
so many
cool.
trees that were very tall that I am of the mind of I'm not going to blind fly it. Like in the US, you're never supposed to do that. Um,
Explain what
and
blind fly means, just for those of us that aren't familiar with that
okay,
term.
well,
Sorry.
I just made up the term, but it might
No,
be a
I like
term.
it.
So it's basically you're not supposed to have it out of your visual line of sight. So what you can see
Oh,
unaided, without binoculars, without anything like that, um, because like some people will use the like you'll look down, you'll see through the drone's eyes. But first of all, it's really easy to lose your drone. And second of all, if you're doing that, you're not going to be able to see any like planes or anything that are going by or any hazards. And so while there was another person doing drone there, they were really like obviously very good at it and they were able to do that. But I didn't feel comfortable and also the weather was pretty terrible. So every time I
mhm.
went to put it up, it was either like storming or it was so windy that it would have gotten like knocked out of the sky.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I
But
wouldn't
I've
want to
gotten
risk having it knocked out of the sky, no.
Yeah, and I've gotten some cool shots around my neighborhood and like practicing. And I have my Part 107 license. Um, but I'm a firm believer in I'm not going to use it or advertise it as far as my services until I'm like perfect at it. So we're still in that process, especially with trying to figure out like handling it through the wind and everything.
Right, right. So internationally, did you have to show anything? Was it kind of just like
Oh, wait.
traveling with a regular camera?
I lied. I did have to do things. So basically, when you travel, like you can put the drone in your checked luggage. I know a lot of people don't because like it gets tossed around. But you do have to keep the batteries in a fire safe bag in the cabin.
Right.
And for me to fly the drone, I had to apply to like the Northern Ireland and the Ireland because I was in both spots. Basically, all of their things. I paid for the insurance. I did everything. I literally like spent I want to say
Wow.
$400 to fly it, and I didn't get to. It was really
Wow.
sad, but basically, I wanted to make sure, like, yes, it could be classified as a hobby thing, but because I know I'm going to be posting on my channels and things, if someone were to see that, they could instantly flag it and I can get my license taken away. I'm not about to take that risk.
No, I wouldn't either. So in the United States to use it, is there also a licensing process then that you should go through?
Yeah, I think if it's over a certain weight, you have to have the I think it's a part 107. And then if you plan on I know you have to do the trust certification, and then if you plan on making money with it at any point, then you have to have the Part 107. And so, because mine is a DJI Air 2S, it's too heavy for the max capacity of like a hobby one, and I'm using it for making money.
Right.
So I've gotten a few like hotel shots and things like that, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And to be able, like you said, when you get comfortable being able to advertise it as part of your services, you want to make sure you've done all those steps necessary.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's exciting. I love the
Thanks.
drone shots. I mean, they're so fabulous anywhere, just to get above nature and see the trees or have a different viewpoint that honestly you can't get from standing on the ground.
Yeah. And it's really funny because you could be like, oh, this area is like boring. And then you get up and you're like, whoa, this looks so cool.
Yeah,
Like even
right.
just my neighborhood. And I'm like, okay. So like the first time it snowed in my area, I put it up there and I basically posted the video for all of my neighbors to see and they thought it was the coolest thing.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, yeah, just the way the snow is landed or, how the cars have tracked through it. I think that would be beautiful. Yeah, I think there's just so many uses for it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you on YouTube too?
I do have a YouTube. I'm not super like my video. everything. Still trying to get the hang of and getting comfortable in front of the camera. Because I do a lot of my things kind of like a guide, and everyone else just likes it for the entertainment. So I'm trying to figure out like the entertainment part that I can add to it, because it does have the value, but like people need not just like scroll past. So I'm still working
Right.
on that, but I do have like 240 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And many of those are for the amputee videos because it's like the first day after my amputation, how I put on this thing. So they're less about the travel part, but and more about the actual like amputee process.
Right. Which I know that was a big decision too for you to make to choose to do it, if I recall.
Yeah, it was actually I made the decision at T-Bex in Wisconsin.
That's what I thought, because I thought we kind of chatted about it. You were having a lot of pain or something, if I recall. Something.
Yeah. So like initially my accident, besides like the brain injury and stuff, an F-250 had T-boned this motorcycle that I was on. First time on a motorcycle, first time on the back, and it crushed every bone in my left leg.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so doctors were like, okay, like you need to say your goodbyes while we're in the hospital because I wasn't supposed to live through it. And then like a few hours later, they're like, okay, she may live, but we're gonna have to amputate. And a few hours later, they're like, it's Christmas. We can't take her leg and her wake up like that. And I'm always just like, I wish you did. Like, why didn't you do it? Because I
Oh,
had I want to say 12 surgeries for reconstruction of it.
12?
And it
Oh
was
my
still like
gosh.
level 10 pain. I was on like pain meds constantly around the clock. And then I had that amputation. And less than a month later, I got off of all of the pain meds.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just
So
that
it's been
difference.
amazing. I love, like, I can actually do life and spend time with my kids and play with them. They can still
Right.
outrun me most of the way.
That's true. Yeah, but just to be free from that constant pain, I can't even imagine of
Yeah.
trying to live with that.
It was weird. Like definitely be like waking up and not just being in pain constantly and then like not realizing that I did have some brain fog like a little bit with the medication I was taking, but it was nowhere near what it sh could have been for like others who say they take it because when you have the right amount of pain medicine, you don't get high. Like it literally is like taking Tylenol.
Right, right.
So coming off of it was just like it was really cool. And I still have pain, but like I've faced getting hit by a truck and dealt with that pain. So like every other pain is pretty low on everything for scale.
Right, right. And well, and now since Wisconsin, since having the prosthetic too, you've traveled so much with it. It's just kind of become second nature in a way, I imagine, a little bit.
Yeah, it's so funny because like I just, participated in a Facebook group that's for amputees and they're like, "Hey, how many times did you like get out of bed and for it to put it on?" I'm like, "Twice." And twice is like almost too many because you land on your leg and it's not a foot. So like you're literally hitting bone and muscle.
Oh, wow.
And so
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good reminder not to do that.
Right.
But there is like an adjustment and everything. And it's annoying that like, yeah, I have to like if I get up and I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I'm like almost peeing my pants trying to put my leg on.
Yeah.
That's annoying, but it's worth it, honestly.
And to kind of remember that sensory of that you have, right, that putting it on, that it's not just there, it's not just part of you anymore. It's different.
Yeah. But it's cool because I've gotten like I started out with a hiking leg because I was doing a lot of hiking and blowing rock at that point. And then I was going to start doing Ninja Warrior with my son.
Oh my gosh.
And then he quit. I
Oh
was so
no.
mad.
Yeah,
Like I
you're like,
literally got the amputation. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do it together. And he's like, I'm too cool for this now. And I'm like, how are you too cool for Ninja Warrior? But anyway, because he was like really good. He went to Worlds and stuff.
wow.
And so I call it the obstacle course like foot because it's like a hybrid of a high activity foot combined with like a running foot. And that's what I use in everyday life.
That's interesting. See, I wouldn't have even known that there were different types of attachments, different type of feet, different uses.
There's swimming ones, there's running ones. I'm trying to think of like there's shower ones, and it's basically like a peg leg. Like It just really depends on where you are with your mobility. So like some people who are very sedentary are gonna like it goes from K1 to K4. And K4 is professional athletes. So
Wow.
I'm kind of between a K3 and 4 as far as like my designation, but most people are at a 2. So like the ones that are less complicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of fascinating that that they've come this far to design to address different people's, activity levels. And
Yeah.
you see people out there hiking mountains and just doing more than some of just us regular people that have legs, That's
Yeah,
just
and what's
so
really cool is like
amazing.
I'm in a study. I'm not supposed to say where or like
No,
anything
I
like that,
understand.
but it's a robotic leg, and it's really cool. But there's a lot of kinks right now, which are hilarious, like on my end, because you have to learn how to like move your muscles to activate the leg, and so when my muscles get fatigued, they just start doing whatever, and so it was just like. And that happened last month. It was funny. So we're trying to get that bug worked out, but I can imagine that when it comes out, it's going to be really helpful and useful.
Yeah, that sounds amazing too. And to be able to make changes for people, after you that need to have this type of situation. That's incredible. Wow. So you've got a lot of travel on your plate. Which one do you think you're most excited about?
Um, oh gosh, I don't, maybe, probably the one next month. Like, I'm really excited that I'm going to learn to ski this month,
Yeah.
but I'm also like terrified
I'd be
because
scared.
like, I am not the most coordinated person. Like before my accident, I was like, I moved like a dancer. I was really coordinated. I could do a lot of things. Since the accident, I'm kind of like not ditzy, but like I'm very like not coordinated. And I attribute that to partially brain injury, but also partially just because like I'm mostly metal at this point. Um, so I'm excited but nervous. And then, February is gonna be cool because I've never been to London or Paris yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, wow. That's going to be super
I've
amazing.
only been to Ireland and Greece so far over there, so I'm excited to expand it.
Yeah, London is just such an amazing, vibrant city. There's so much to see and do. I love that all the museums are free.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that.
yes, yeah. So look into like, if your mom wants to see certain ones. And I mean, I'm not a big museum person to be honest, but occasionally it's just going into the buildings. I like to just see what the building is. The portrait gallery was one that I kind of enjoy. Just go in there and hang out for a little bit, or if you get cold. Some of them have really neat cafes, so it's just different things to do. And of course, they have a lot of, there's a lot of walking, which I don't know how tiring that can be for you, I'm sure.
I'm probably gonna
Um,
rent a car in Dublin. But we're gonna probably Uber a whole bunch. Like I know we can take the tube and all that, but just for safety and practicality, we're probably going to steer clear and just do Ubers or something.
well, that and just the amount of people, like for me, it's just like I've never really lived in, LA's a city, but everyone drives around. It's not like New York and London is
Oh,
just
New
like,
York was wild.
oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah, we had an incident on our subway, so that scarred us for a while.
Yeah, I would imagine. Well, just like all the noise and people, it can just even, just
It's a
sensory.
lot.
Yeah, even for me, I mean, it can be sensory overload where I'm just like, okay, I'm done now. I've seen too many people. It's time to go, chill out somewhere.
Exactly. I'm trying to tell her, I'm like, Mom, if we want to go to like the Trevi Fountain in May, like we're getting up at 4 in the morning. Like I'm not going to be standing there with a million other people.
Yeah, well, even like Paris for the Eiffel Tower, it's a good idea to kind of ahead of time pre-plan what day you might want to, go up in the Eiffel Tower so you don't
Do
have to
you
be.
think it's worth it to go up it?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I was there in February one year, and they closed the top because of the ice. They wouldn't let us up there, but we did go up part way, and it was totally. I liked it. I enjoyed it because I went up at night, so you got to see this.
Oh, that'd be pretty.
All the lights of the city. It was just really enchanting. But it was pretty cold in Paris in February, but it was nice because there's less people out on the streets. It's like less crowded. So for
Oh,
that
good.
reason, yeah, I
I
think.
always like that. I try not to travel during like peak season anywhere.
Right. And even London, I think you'll find, as long as you avoid the tube, because that's where all the people are, it gets kind of crazy down there. I think you'll find that there's less. overall people just out milling around. But yeah, for the Eiffel Tower, I would totally get a pass ahead of time, even if it's a couple days, just to avoid standing in the long line.
Yeah, I agree. I already told her, I'm like, look, if it's gonna be more than like an hour, like I'm not doing it because I don't want to waste our time there. Like I want to do
Right,
stuff. Like we can see it. We don't need to be in it.
right. And Notre Dame, since they've redone it, is open, so you probably want to check that out.
Oh yeah.
And then they have like on the Seine, I'm gonna say it wrong, the Seine River, they have boats. So those are kind of nice to take the.
That's
And even
cool.
even with London, someone was showing me yesterday, they have Uber boats down the
What?
Thames. Yeah, they showed me a picture of Uber boats, and I guess you can go on Uber and get a pass on the boat. But again, just a neat way to see the city that doesn't cost a lot from that view of the river. So that might be something to check out too.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. I might have to look into it.
Yeah, exactly. So tell people again, Phoenix, where they can connect with you, follow your travels, get ask questions, or if they need to.
I am on my website, which is just phoenixtravels.com. I have Facebook groups for accessibility tips, and I'm on every single social platform. I don't use Twitter, but I use everything else.
Yeah.
And I try to post there regularly, but also ADHD and remembering things is not. So I'm definitely there. I'm definitely reading messages and responding to everyone and just trying to make things easier for everyone who has a disability.
Well, fabulous. I'm so glad we finally got to connect, Phoenix. I'll be excited to reconnect hopefully sometime in the year and hear about some of your travels, like after you hit Dublin, London, and Paris. What a great combination. And
Yeah, we definitely have to set something up.
yeah, I really hope that you and your mom have a really special trip because I know how I traveled a lot with my dad, and it's just so cool to be able to travel with a parent and have those memories. So
Yeah. Well, thank you.
yeah, so it's phoenixtravels.com.
Yep. So it's Phoenyx travels.com on and Phoenix Travels on all of the other things.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Phoenix, and take care.
Thank you. You have a great day. Do I need to do anything else?